And black folk don't have the wherewithal to change their conditions.
And the reason that they have not historically in America had access is because of the way as you point out in the book, the legal system has been stacked against us. The political system has been stacked against us. The access to real property, wealth, money, land has been prohibited by law.
That's
the
right.
Supreme Court has been used as an instrument against us.
And it's still being used as an instrument against you.
Explain that.
Because initially, when the Constitution was written, all the Constitution did was picked up the old public policy that had already begun on black folk. When black folk first arrived in this country in 1619, there was approximately 20 blacks. By 1634, the Maryland colony came into existence. That time you had about 40, 45 blacks in the country. Mm-hmm. By 1638, something very profound happened, Daryl, that every black person in this country needs to understand. Something very, very profound. What happened in 1638? The Maryland colony put out its first public edict. And what that edict said is that black folks shall never enjoy the fruits of white society. That is very key to what's been happening to you for 400 years.
And that is written and established in American code.
That's right.
Codified as law in
That's
America.
right. And so, and between that point, let's say for about the next 20 years, for instance, the European colonies were putting pressure on this country, saying, hey, we didn't send you to America to have a good time, just enjoy yourself and sit back and relax. We sent you to relax. We sent you to America to produce some wealth, some resources for our European, continent. Mm-hmm. And most of the colonies were sending letters back saying, hey, we can't do anything in this country. We don't have the wherewithal. It would take us a lifetime to clear the forest, to move the bricks, to get rid of the snakes and rocks. Mm-hmm. And we need a labor force to do it. And at that point in time, the white society knew they had a need. So what happened, they brought together a very strong sense of community around that need and said, we got to find a way of resolving that problem. Mm-hmm. And they looked back at that public edict was put out in Maryland in 1638, which says black folks should never enjoy the fruits of white society, mm-hmm. and they expanded it. Right. So by 1664, 1665, every colony in the United States enacted a slave law that says black folks shall now constitute a subordinated, excluded, uncompensated, non-competitive, managed workforce for the personal comfort and wealth building of white society. And that became your public policy that remained in existence up until recent times.
Why isn't that?
Anyone who instructed the killing of black people in Marikana has got no leg to stand on when it comes to Black Lives Matters. Because a black life does not matter when it is a white person killing a black person. Even when a black person wears, the authorities kill another black person, the life of a black person still matters too. Therefore, Ramaphosa has got no leg to even pretend that he cares about the lives of black people. Those American police saw Ramaphosa instructing South African police to kill black people. Then they knew that if African authorities have got no regard for a black life, why should we respect it? When people are killed in Zimbabwe, in DRC, in Nigeria, by their own governments, when they stand up to protest, when they stand up to say, you can't be a president forever, they get killed for raising legitimate demands. And therefore, you are teaching the world that there is no value for a black life. You cannot kill people for telling the truth, because what should be respected at all times is the truth. It doesn't matter who says the truth. When you kill Zimbabweans, Mozambicans, Nigerians, Somalians here in South Africa and calling them Makwere and calling them all sorts of names, today you hold a placard and say Black Lives Matters when you support the killing of your own fellow black brothers and sisters here in South Africa, and have some useless hashtag on social media, put South Africa first. That is a narrow nationalism, because the problem of black people is not a problem of South Africa. A black man is hated everywhere, be it in China, be it in France, be it everywhere. You cannot say South Africa first. We must say black first and defend the black lives everywhere, including here in South Africa. Let us treat black life with respect and dignity. We will never be respected if we suffer from self-hate. Because the reality of the situation is that you don't respect yourself. Because if you loved this face, this black face, when you are about to burn a Zimbabwean and seeing the tears of a black African fellow crying for his or her life, you will see yourself and stop it immediately. It is not a problem of Zimbabwe. It is not a problem of Nigeria. It is a problem of self-hate. We must begin to love ourselves. Then we will never have a problem anyway.